to the block one company, of course.
Right.
That's how they funded
Yes.
the whole thing.
Exactly, yes. They are the ones that held that address. Do we need to restart? Yeah, so this every third legislation where if you're a video camera, you get taxed more. If you're a normal camera, you get taxed less. So you have to restart every 30 minutes on a...
Okay, yeah. Thank you for reminding. So yes, in the EOS you did get an ERC20 token back out of this contract once you have a deposit to it.
Yep.
So and this is how you do it in
exactly.
HEX
but in
also.
ours, we lock you up for 90%.
But I thought you get your Bitcoin as long as you had a UTXO in the Bitcoin UTXO set.
Yeah.
You can just prove that.
Yeah.
By
There are two different paths that mint. You can get them from either system.
Ah, okay. So you can send Ethereum and you can get HEX, and you can send.
You can do both.
And you can prove that you're a Bitcoin owner.
Right.
And
that's what I was talking about, the 40%.
What's the conversion rate though for the Ethereum versus the?
So you get your base rate if you free claim HEX. And remember, when you free claim, we lock you up for 350 days minimum. You can choose a longer length if you want more bonuses. If you lock 36, 41 days, about 10 years, you get 3x the shares. So you get a lot more shares if you stake longer.
But you get your Ethereum back at the end of it?
No, you don't get Ethereum.
So
they're unrelated. Staking is unrelated to the Ethereum thing.
Okay.
So if you're, let's just talk free claiming. So you go to go.hex.win. That's where the claim tool will be. It's not public yet. If you want to see what it looks like, and it takes 1 minute to do all this, just go to youtube.com/hex crypto. There's one video there. It shows you how to claim, import your keys to Electrum if you need to. If you already use a good wallet that can sign, you don't have to move your keys. It already supports hardware wallets, Trezor, Ledger. You can leave your keys inside them. You never have to take your keys out. Totally secure. You can do it over Tor. You can claim one BTC address per an Ethereum address and be as totally anonymous as you want. You can send your Ethereum through tornado.cash if you want to mix it or whatever. So you free claim. Let's say you have one BTC. Let's say you claim it day one. Let's say you self-refer yourself. That's 15,840 X per Bitcoin, right? If you just claim and have the first day adoption bonus is 12,000 X per Bitcoin.
Okay. Yeah, that part I understand.
Yeah.
You're using your Bitcoin, depending on how early you do it, you get more Bitcoin.
So 90% is auto-staked, 10% is not auto-staked. You can dump 10% if you want. You can stake it for another length if you want. If you want multiple stake lengths, we only support one stake length per claim. You should split your Bitcoin wallet up into as many little groups as you want, so you can have all the stakes.
So this part is not super interesting to me, but the Ethereum, what do you do with your Ethereum and the original address that receives that Ethereum? What can they do with it?
So the origin address gets a copy of bonuses, not base claims, not interest, just copy of bonuses.
They receive the Ethereum.
Well, the flush address, which is the second address, gets the Ethereum. Right. So if someone runs the flush function, then it sends that Ethereum to the flush address. They're going to be two different addresses.
Who controls the flush address thing?
If I told you that, it might be a violation of the Howey test because you might expect benefit from it, and you must not expect benefit from it. So you know how easy it would be for me to make you big promises? I used to own a marketing company with 150
employees. But you got to tell me how it works. I mean, I know when I send it.
You lose
why
your
would
ETH.
I send
yes,
my
you
ETH?
lose your ETH.
I lose my ETH.
And you get HEX.
But who gets the ETH?
You're not supposed to know that.
Okay, then in this case, that's the only thing that I'm interested in.
Right, but then it can become a security, right?
It's if you say it. Can somebody look at the code and figure it out? And can I say it?
There's an address, yeah. And if you do chainalysis, you can see what it does with the money. And if it stakes, you'll know it.
Okay, so there is an address.
Sure.
And that address is going to be controlled by someone, whoever launches the HEX project or whatever.
Or a group of people. Or a distributed anonymous exchange. Or a robot. Or they could lose the keys in a boat accident.
And the originator owner is the one that's making the big bucks out of the HEX system.
Depends.
But why would people participate in a system where you know that there's a specific actor that has a edge on everybody else?
Okay. Are you familiar with a project called XRP?
You're meaning that Ripple is basically the originator address of...
No, I'm saying that 40% of XRP supply is owned by a foundation.
You do have a point. People do stupid fucking shit in this industry.
But they're not stupid. They made higher returns than I did holding Bitcoin. I did the right thing and held Bitcoin, and Ethereum guys made more than me. I did the right thing and held Bitcoin, and everybody made more than me.
The greater fool theory works pretty well.
Yeah, but as long as the fucking dump never happens, it works better. The problem in those systems is they don't address a large enough market. So XRP says, oh, we're going to be doing transactions with banks, but they're not. That's not honest. Banks aren't using you guys, right? Oh, what's the next thing? Oh, we're going to be an anonymous coin like Zcash. Oh, but no one uses the anonymity. 3% of people use it, which means that it's not useful, right? Like you stand out like a big red flag if you're the only guy to ever use it, right? So you've got all these projects that make huge promises, which are very easy for me to make if I wanted to, right? I own a marketing company with 150 employees that did 60 million a year turnover from scratch that I founded. I'm an internet marketing expert. I could make you huge fucking promises very easily. They're cheap to make, and it's what everyone else does. I'm choosing not to do it because I don't want to be classified as a security, right? So if you don't have a centralized founder, who's going to sue when someone steals a brand like Bitcoin.com? Stole the brand. Now they're selling you fake Bitcoin. Anybody suing them? No. Why? Because no one has grounds to sue. Okay. When you want to get listed on an exchange and it costs a shitload for someone to get listed, you know, is Decred listed on Binance? No. Why? Not centralized enough. Nobody's got a big enough stack to actually just fucking pay to get listed. Okay. Well, it turns out that you need a bag holder that has enough money to give a fuck enough to actually do a lot of the things that need done, right?
Well, some coins are, people are using them and want to trade them, so that the demand for trading them is
sure. And in this instance, we have better better speculative stickiness. If you believe that cryptocurrency is majority,
well, you don't know that. I mean,
I do know it. I'm a trader.
Well, yeah. Well, I know. I'm a trader also.
Right. I've traded all the things, and I know what's more fun to trade than not.
Okay, well...
So let me give you an example. In Bitcoin, what do you have? You have the hash rate, you have the on-chain transaction volume if you use NVT from Willywoo, and you've got fucking the price.
But let's be fair. What you have with HEX is a specific construction that earns people interest on their coins.
Yes.
You have one address that earns more than anybody else, which is the originating address.
For the first year. And then it goes away. Unless he chooses to stay.
Yeah, okay, but that still can be a fuck ton of money that goes to the original address.
Yeah, and who better to receive the money? Who did more work than that guy?
Okay, so sure.
Satoshi owned what percent of Bitcoin for how long?
It's what you created. It's still just a wealth reallocation mechanism.
That's all finance is. All of it.
Yeah,
that's all finance.
Yeah,
that's the S&P 500.
I suppose, but there's usually some sort of.
Right. You keep if let's just say it's just a speculative stickiness game. We're the first cryptocurrency to have a chart of future market supply. We're the first cryptocurrency to address the CD and time deposit market, which is a multi-trillion dollar market, larger than fiat currency. It addresses a larger market than Bitcoin does. It's more censorship resistant than Bitcoin. It's got a better mining ecosystem than Bitcoin. It plugs into DeFi. It's fucking free. If you want free Bitcoin, you can't fucking get any. If you want free HEX, you can get that.
You're not giving me a chance here because you speak faster than me and you got way more information.
I'm not trying to gish gallop you, which is that technique, right? I will give you enough time to handle all of these things. I'm just trying to create basically a table of contents to make it easier for you.
I wouldn't, I'm not necessarily challenging that you couldn't create a system where, you have a...
So let's try this. Do you think we should replace most centralized parties with peer-to-peer open source replacements?
Most of them?
Okay.
No, I don't think that you necessarily... I mean, there's the fundamental architecture that allows for permissionless innovation. Those we got to open up.
Do you think that the time deposit or the CD is likely to be the third most popular product at a bank, behind savings account, checking account?
I think it should be one of the most popular.
Okay. Is any other cryptocurrency addressing that market?
Well, Ethereum will be with when you're
Nope. It won't be.
And Cosmos has it already with proof of stake.
It won't. First, you don't get paid for staking longer, which is the basic premise of a CD, is that if you stake longer, you get paid more. It doesn't address that at all.
Yes, you do.
Second,
the longer time you're staking, the more money you're earning.
That's not how that works. You're getting a higher interest rate.
Yeah, you want to get a higher...
You're getting right. So what you just described is you get paid more if you do more work. Yes. But if you stake longer, you get paid more for the more work.
Yeah,
it compounds by itself.
It's proportional to that.
Right.
You want to have something that gives you an edge based on your lockup.
Furthermore, if you just Google, so you want to be a CRISPR validator, by Vitalik, he'll tell you all the ways you can lose all your money. Oh, you lost internet connectivity, you lost your money. Oh, there was a flaw in your SSD, it got hit by a cosmic ray, lost all your money. And you could go through all the ways that you could lose your ass as a CRISPR validator, and you actually do the math on how much you'll make as an Ethereum 2.0 staker. It's very likely you can lose money and not make money at all. Like that's how the math actually works out. And if you do make any money, it's very little money, and it's not without great risk. The mad gains potential in HEX is vastly superior to the mad gains potential, which is basically zero, being an Ethereum validator.
I'm gonna have to think more about it, but my intuition right now is that you are right in saying that people like to earn interests in systems, and what you have described to me thus far is just such a system where you can earn more of these tokens if you want to. And it's also true that it could be true that these HEX tokens will have some tradable value.
I got a line of people dying to buy them right now. With not a dollar spent on marketing. We've got 4,200 people in the chat room. We have 17,000 signups.
So at this point in time, it doesn't feel like I have much to earn by trying to attack the specific economic construction that you created with HEX.
But you can't attack it. It's a time deposit. It's the same shit that exists in the real world.
So I'm going to leave it as it is right now. Maybe I'll have some ideas that I'll come up with later, and then I'll write a tweet storm about it. If I find some fundamental flaws in it.
He is smarter than me at blockchain. He understands consensus networks better than I do. Right? He's technically superior. If he can find a flaw with it, he will fucking write a long Medium post essay about it, and it will be a fucking thing.
I will. Given